Good morning, children. In your previous class, you have studied about the silk and also about the life history of a silk moths. See, children, you just recall it. See, the rearing of a silkworms for obtaining the silk, it is called as the sericulture. Sericulture means it is the rearing of the silkworms for obtaining the silk. And you also study about the life history of a silk moth. See, the female silk moth, it lays eggs from which hatch the larvae, which are called as the caterpillars or silkworms. And they grow in size, and when the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of its life history called pupa, it first weaves a net to hold itself, then it swings its head from side to side in the form of a figure 8, children. And during these movements of the head, the caterpillar secretes a fiber made of a protein which hardens on the exposure to the air and becomes the silk fiber. And soon the caterpillar completely covers itself by silk fibers and turns into pupa. This covering, it is known as the cocoon. You studied about the life history of a silk moth. That is the first, there will be adult silk moths, male, female, and then the eggs on the mulberry leaves. Next, it will be silkworm, and then cocoon, and then it will be a cocoon with a developing moth. Now today, we will study about the cocoon to silk. How it will be processed from the cocoon to silk, we will study. See, children, here there are some activities you have to do in your home. These activities, first you have to collect some pieces of a silk of cloth of various types and paste them in your scrapbook, and you can find them in a tailor shop among the heap of the waste cut pieces. Take help of your mother, aunt, or a teacher and identify the types of a silk such as a mulberry silk, tassar silk, eri silk, muga silk, etc. And then compare the texture of these silks with that of the artificial silk pieces and which contain the synthetic fibers. Try and collect the pictures of different moths whose caterpillars provide the various types of silk. You can do in your home, children. Next activity is take an artificial, that is synthetic silk thread and a pure silk thread. Burn these threads carefully. Did you notice any difference in the smell while burning? Now burn a woolen fiber carefully. See, children, you take 3 threads here. First is silk thread and a pure silk thread. First, burn these threads carefully. You can take the help of your parents, children, for this. Burn these threads carefully. Now, did you notice any difference in the smell while burning? You will definitely notice the difference here. You can try this. And now burn a woolen fiber carefully. And did it smell like burning of an artificial silk or that of a pure silk? Can you explain why here? Now, to remember when the cocoon stage is reached in the life history of a silk moth, now try the following activity here. One next activity is there here. You can remember easily now when the cocoon stage is reached in the life history of the silk moth. See, children, you try this activity in your home and also explain why the smell differs here. Next activity is here 3.9 figure has been given here. These are the adult silk moths, male and female. Next is the eggs on a mulberry leaves, silkworm, cocoon, and then cocoon with a developing moth. You have to cut out the pictures of the stages of the life history of a silk moth and paste them on the pieces of the cardboard or a chart paper and then jumble them. Now try and arrange the stages in the correct sequence in a cyclic form. And you may also describe the life history in your own words, children, you write down in your scrapbook. Okay, you have to take these 3 activities as your assignment work and do it, children. Now we will study about the from cocoon to silk here. For obtaining the silk, moths are reared and their cocoons are collected to get the silk threads. See, children, for obtaining the silk moths are reared and their cocoons are collected to get the silk threads. See, next is the rearing silkworms. See, children, a female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. See, a female silk moth. It has been shown in the figure here, children. A female silk moth lays the hundreds of eggs here. See, children, it has laid hundreds of eggs here. The eggs are stored carefully on the stripes of a cloth or a paper. See, children, the eggs are stored carefully on a stripe of a cloth or a paper and sold to the silkworm farmers. The farmers keep the eggs under hygienic conditions and under suitable conditions of temperature and humidity. See, children, first this female silk moth will lay the hundreds of eggs, and these eggs are stored carefully on a stripes of a cloth or a paper and sold to the silkworm fibers. And these farmers keep the eggs under the hygienic conditions, means under good conditions, and they are taken care there, and under a suitable conditions of temperature and humidity, and the suitable temperature and humidity will be provided there, and the eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature for the larvae to hatch from the eggs. The eggs are warmed there and to a suitable temperature and for the larvae to hatch from eggs. This is because the eggs are warmed because the larvae to hatch from the eggs. The larvae should hatch from the eggs. For that purpose, the eggs are warmed there. And this is done when mulberry trees bear a fresh crop of leaves. See, be here. This is the mulberry tree, children. This is the leaf of a mulberry tree. This is mulberry leaf. It is used to feed the silkworms. See, this is done when mulberry trees bear a fresh crop of leaves here, and the larvae called caterpillars or silkworms eat day and night and increase enormously in size. The larvae called the caterpillars or the silkworms, they eat day and night the mulberry leaves here, and they enormously grow large in number. Next, here the discovery of silk has been given, children. Here the exact time of a discovery of silk is perhaps unknown, means the exact time of discovery of silk it is not known. And according to an old Chinese legend, the Empress Si Lang Chai was asked by the Emperor Huang Ti to find the cause of the damaged leaves of mulberry trees growing in their garden, and the Empress found white worms eating up mulberry leaves, and she also noticed that they were spinning shining cocoons around them. Accidentally, means unfortunately, a cocoon dropped into her cup of a tea, and a tangle of delicate thread separated from the cocoon. Silk industry began in China and was kept a closely guarded secret for hundreds of years. Later on, traders and travelers introduced the silk to other countries also. The route they traveled is still called as the Silk Route. So children, this is all about the discovery of the silk. You can read it. See, next, the larvae are kept in a clean bamboo trays along with the freshly chopped mulberry leaves. See children, the larvae are kept in clean bamboo trays. Bamboo tree, you know children, that one. The larvae, these are kept in a clean bamboo trays along with the freshly chopped mulberry leaves, and after 25 to 30 days, the caterpillars stop eating and move to a tiny chamber of a bamboo in the tray to spin the cocoons. See children, First, the larvae, these are kept in a clean bamboo trays. Next, along with the freshly chopped mulberry leaves, because the silkworms, they eat the mulberry leaves. Therefore, the larvae, these are kept in a clean bamboo trays. Next, after 25 to 30 days, the caterpillar stop eating and move to a tiny chamber of a bamboo. Means it is a tiny room of a bamboo, and in the tray to spin the cocoons. Means here spin the cocoons means here placing the silk or silk filaments by the formation of a cocoon by a caterpillar. And here the small racks or twigs may be provided in the trays to which cocoons get attached. Here the small racks or the tree twigs may be provided in the trays to which the cocoons get attached. The caterpillar or silkworm spins the cocoon inside which develops the silk moth. See children, here first the larvae, these are kept in a clean bamboo trays along with the freshly chopped mulberry leaves. And after 25 to 30 days, the caterpillar stop eating the mulberry leaves and move to a tiny chamber of a bamboo in the tray to spin the cocoons. And small racks or twigs may be provided in the trays to which cocoons get attached. The caterpillar or silkworms, they spin the cocoon inside which the develops the silk moth. See children, the caterpillar or the silkworm, it spins, means it turns or and twists the cocoon inside which it develops the silk moth. Next is the processing silk. A pile of cocoons is used for obtaining the silk fibers. Means pile means a large number of cocoons. These are used for obtaining the silk fibers. The cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled or exposed to steam. The silk fibers separate out. The process of taking out the threads from the cocoon for use as silk is called as the reeling the silk. See children, the process of taking out the threads from the cocoon for using as a silk, it is called as the reeling the silk. And reeling is done in special machines which unwind the threads or fibers of silk from the cocoon. Silk fibers are then spun into silk threads which are woven into silk cloth by the weavers. See children, here the processing of silk. First the pile of cocoons, a large number of cocoons is used for obtaining the silk fiber. The cocoons are kept under the sun or they are boiled or exposed to the steam. The silk fibers are then separated out, and the process of taking out the threads from the cocoon, the process of taking out the threads from the cocoon for use as a silk, it is called as the reeling the silk. And reeling is done in special machines which unwind the threads. By reeling, the threads are unwinded and or the fibers of silk from the cocoon. The silk fibers are then spun into the silk threads. The silk fibers are then spun into the silk threads. Spun into silk threads means they are twisted or turned around and around, and which are woven into the silk cloth, and they are then ready to woven into the silk cloth by the weavers. Understood children? Here the larvae, they are kept in a clean bamboo trays along with the freshly chopped mulberry leaves, because the larvae, they will eat the mulberry leaves. And after 25 to 30 days, the caterpillar stop eating the mulberry leaves and they move to a tiny chamber of a bamboo. Means it is a small room of a bamboo, and in the tray to spin the cocoons. And here the small racks or the twigs, they are provided in the trays to which the cocoons will get attached. The cocoons will get attached to the racks or the twigs here, and The caterpillar or the silkworm spins the cocoon inside which it develops the silk moth. This is all about the from cocoon to silk. And next, in processing of silk, first the large number of cocoons, they are used for obtaining silk fibers, and then the cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled or exposed to steam here. Then the silk fibers are separated. The process of taking out the threads from the cocoon for the use of a silk is called as the reeling the silk. Reeling is done in special machines which unwind the threads or fibers, means they separate the threads or fibers of a silk from the cocoon, and silk fibers are then spun into the silk threads which are woven into the silk cloth by the weavers. This is all about the processing silk. Understood, children? This completes this chapter, and you try to solve the exercises of the lesson, children. Thank you.